Chapter 1. Thunder rumbled in the distance. Heat lightning crackled in the swirling sky above, jolting my already raw nerves. I wanted to jump into the air, but my feet refused to move. Raul Garcia, my best friend from sixth grade, dragged me forward into the schoolyard. My 8-year-old brother trudged beside me. None of us wanted school to start yet. Summer had seemed far too short. I noticed that Raoul's normal smile drooped a bit too. It won't be so bad this year, Raoul said. I won't let Pitbull hurt you. You'll see, I'm stronger and bigger. Yeah, right, I said. I peered down at my new pink sneakers with red shoelaces. Dust and dirt clung to the white rubber edges. I loitered in the yard, wishing school was over and we were on our way home. A thin, whistling wind blew across my cheeks, cooling them from the last oppressive heat of summer. Anna Mae, look out! Malcolm's trembling voice broke through my daydreaming. He shoved some old, gnarled, and rotten roots thing under my nose. My eyes watered. I sneezed and looked down. Yuck! What is it? Raul pushed his stolid body between us. He picked up the offensive object from Malcolm's palm and held it up in front of his eyes. It's a ginger root. The breeze whipped through the schoolyard. Swings swung forward and crashed backwards, their chains interlocking. Loose papers skimmed the ground. The tin garbage can fell to the ground, banging against the packed dirt and loose stones. 2 raindrops fell and bounced off my nose. I looked up and gasped. Floating in midair, a large, black, disembodied, manacled fist blocked our path. It appeared from out of nowhere. Malcolm ducked and hid behind me. I don't believe it's really there, Raul said. He stepped in front of me and raised his own puny fist. The root fell from his hands. The black fist hovered in sight, but out of reach. I know, because Raul jumped into the air, swinging at it. Anna Mae! Malcolm's voice ripped through my mind. I inched backwards and grabbed his arm. Look! I followed his pointing finger. The root crept forward, its tendrils waving. It reminded me of the sacred roots that Grandma Zoe used in her mojos. The root mimicked the movements of his counterpart overhead. What I wanted to know was where the rest of his body was. Saliva soured in my mouth. I shivered. The wind moaned. I almost howled along with it. I noticed that the blades of grass lay flat, as if a heavy foot crushed them into the dirt. Around us, nothing else stirred. The thingy overhead stood still. Its chain rattled. Goosebumps raced up my arms. My teeth chattered. By my side, Malcolm whined. He was no longer my brother/knight in shining armor. Grandma! I know you're here, Grandma, he said. I stamped both feet on the ground. She ain't here. She's home at St. Simon's. Remember the mojo she sent me? Papa was madder than hell. He hates magic. That's why she never comes and visits anymore. Remember what Mama said? Never again will she cross our door. Never. I jerked forwards. Something whomped me from the rear. I stumbled. Raul tried catching me. 15 yards separated us from the main school building. Malcolm ducked and cringed. The black fist disappeared, then reappeared back above our heads. I didn't cower. I bit my lip and stood on my tiptoes, studying it. I noticed a gold wedding band on its 4th finger. The slender fingers were clean, although the skin was cracked and wrinkled. My toes gave out. I fell backwards. Malcolm cushioned my fall as we both crumbled to the dirt. Raoul turned back and helped me to my feet. The fists paralleled our movements, staying close, but out of reach. Malcolm pinched my arm. I've got to go, Anna Mae. It's killing me. Cross your legs, Raoul hissed. Hush, both of you. The first bell rang. I looked at my watch. It was 5 minutes past 8. We had to hurry or we'd be late. Malcolm whimpered behind me. Raoul moved closer, his breathing controlled. I don't like it. I stared at the clenched hand. It hung in midair. I saw no strings or wires. It just appeared. Is it solid? I guess so. I can't see nothing on the other side. Malcolm clutched his stomach and bent over. I can't hold it in. Then go, I shouted, not caring about him. The floating object held my attention. Nothing could distract me except for that accursed ginger root. It was now resting about 10 feet away from Malcolm. I'm gone, Malcolm whispered and fled. I heard him, yet it seemed like I didn't. Malcolm's voice meant nothing as long as that thingy stayed in front of me. Raoul put his arm around my waist and squeezed me. I felt the warmth of his arm. Hadn't we better leave too? You go. That fist. Raoul turned to go. The fist's fingers unfolded. 2 paper scraps fluttered out and fell in dizzying circles. I watched the scraps as they floated and spun. I saw Raoul grab one piece before it hit the ground. He brought it up close to his glasses and read it aloud. Find the gold. That doesn't make any sense. I stooped over and picked up the second paper from the ground. I read it. Find the house where Davis lost it. This either. Gold, house, Davis, lost? It's strange. We stopped talking. The hand reclenched and moved closer to us, as if it was trying to listen. Was it reading our lips? Raoul ignored it. He turned and faced me, cupping my cheeks with his hands, so my eyes focused on his. I better go find Malcolm and make sure he made it all right. I'll meet you at the classroom door before the next bell rings. I nodded and watched the weird object. It didn't move when Malcolm dashed off. It just kept hovering in front of me. I took that as a good sign. I took one giant step forward. The black fist moved with me and changed directions when I did. It blocked my path. I couldn't leave. At my feet, I felt the ginger root attack me. I glanced down. The root's tendrils twisted and looped through my shoelaces. Tied together, I couldn't take a step in any direction. The thingy above and the root below caught a trespasser. Me. A spitball struck the back of my neck. I twisted, forgetting the black fist and the ginger root. Behind me, Stanley Paxton stood. I called him the pit bull of the playground. He wore a new green and white football jersey with the number 12 printed on it. His black jeans sagged around his hips. His pants scuffs dragged in the dirt and rolled over boots that were almost spit and polished as my father's shoes were. What happened to your boyfriend? Don't know what you mean. I kept my tone even. One didn't dare show fair to Stanley. Compared to the fist and the ginger root, he posed a greater threat to me. I waited for his next move. How come you're not in class? Don't sure I want to go. The second bell rang. I stretched my nose. You're going to be late. Just as late as you're going to be. I wasn't going to tell him that 2 thingies prevented me from going inside. Stanley didn't believe in ghosts. Werewolves are vampires. A UFO and a ginger root appearing in the schoolyard wouldn't bother him. He wouldn't understand it, and he wouldn't see them either. Neither one existed in his mind's eye. dropping paper clues from out of nowhere and waving tendrils, knotting shoelaces were beyond his brain power. Gotta go. I lifted my left foot. Nothing happened. I turned my head and tilted it. The disembodied hand was gone. I heard a deep guttural laughter. I twisted my head and gaped, and now blocked Pitbull's path. He tried dodging it, but the fist appeared to grow inside into a dwarf Stanley. I shook my head, blinked my eyes, and rubbed them hard. I even put on my reading glasses. Nothing did the trick. A gigantic object overshadowed Pitbull. At his feet, the ginger root rocked onto its thick trunks. He cringed, blubbering in their presence. Don't hurt me! The fist reshaped its fingers. I saw it give me the thumbs up sign. Pitbull had buried his face in the dirt and lay still. I gasped and tried to collect my thoughts. Raoul appeared out of nowhere and grabbed me by the arm. What are you waiting for? The third bell is about to ring. We gotta go. Malcolm made it to the John. He bumped into his teacher, Mr. Santos, in the hallway. Don't worry about him. We'll be in trouble, not Malcolm. We ran towards the school building. A hall monitor had propped one of the doors open with a chair. I saw Miss Yolanda, our seventh grade homeroom teacher, by the door with her clipboard and pen in her hand. I knew what that meant. Raoul and I didn't have enough time to make it to our lockers. I stumbled on the curb. Raoul dragged me in. Miss Yolanda stared at her pocket watch, counting the seconds. You made it. Better go to homeroom. You can find your lockers later.